how does a PLM protect his initiate from the initiate's enemies or people with ill will, evil intention toward the initiate?
How does a PLM protect his initiate from the initiate's enemies or people with ill will, evil intention toward the initiate? If we ask this question, we have not understood the law of karma. There are no enemies. We created them without karma. They are come to take revenge because we did something to them. It's a payback situation. We don't remember what we did. Therefore, we take it as a local event and they become enemies. What we did to them, we don't remember. We don't even know about our past lives. We don't even know if they existed or not. You have to meditate to discover that you had past life. Not only that what you did is visible to you. You can remember it. Memories can come back. So when you remember it, you very quickly forgive all these enemies. Thank you for taking care of this. I did this to you, I deserve it, thank you. The whole attitude changes. So that is why when we say these are our enemies, masters help them in the sense that they try to prevent harm from coming in so many ways in this current body. But they allow an event to take place so that the karma is paid off. So what they say is, it makes a bearable experience. Masters make it a bearable experience, but experience still takes place. So the law of karma operates like that. It is a very strong law. There are not too many exceptions in that law. So that is why doing good, bad, whatever we are made up, which we did in the past, same thing is working now. And these enemies, we were their enemies in the past. We did something, they are doing it now. Pray to Master if it is hurtful, if it is harmful. Masters have protected their disciples from getting harmed, even in dealing with enemies. So many times. And masters do it in such a way that we don't even realize that they are doing it. Sometimes we can see Master actually appearing. I remember there was a pastor in India, name is Baba Fakir Chand. And Fakir Chand always said that masters know nothing about what's happening to the people. What is happening is their own experience inside. Masters are merely instruments to create experience, which is actually an experience in the mind, in the consciousness of the disciple. But we think master doing it. The master that's doing it is inside, and that master with higher meditation we discover is our own self. So therefore the whole game is being played by the self inside, but it looks like the master doing from outside. And he used to give an example in his discourses. I had a chance to meet him several times. He was our neighbor in a town called Hoshiarpur. My dad was teaching there, and I was a student in that college. During the Second World War, Fakir Chand was posted on the battlefield, in the base line, and 3 of his disciples were in the front in the combat area. One day, they got ambushed. The 3 disciples got ambushed by the enemy. And they said, we are not going to be saved anymore. On all sides we can't escape. Therefore said, let's pray to our master. We'll all be dying together, that we should be happy if he can take us wherever he wants to take us. The 3 sat in meditation, and all 3 saw Baba Fakir Chand present. And he said, we are going to die. So what is your moj? He said, you will not die. Right behind where you are sitting right now, there is a bush. And under the bush, there is a tunnel. You remove the bush, go in the tunnel, it will go behind the enemy lines. They stopped their meditation and went back. There was a bush. They removed the bush, and there was a tunnel. They escaped from the tunnel, and as soon as they got from the other side, they ran to their master. Said, Master, please, we thank you, you saved our lives. He said, what are you talking about? I know nothing about it. But Master, you appeared. We saw you. He says, you saw me. I don't know anything about it. I am myself afraid some mob might hit on me. So Fakir Chand himself used to give example of this thing. And he said that in one of his discourses he was saying, there's a lady, a disciple of his, who had a pain in the stomach at night, and she prayed to the Master. And Master appeared. Fakir Chand appeared in front of her. He said, don't worry, you just take some black salt, little lime on top of the shelf, and dissolve it and take it, you'll be okay. So she took the black salt, got okay. In the morning she went to thank the Master. He says, Babaji, thank you very much. You saved my life last night. He says, Bibi, don't talk like that. I don't go to women's homes like that. But what he explained, there's a biography of Baba Fakir Chand for the unknowing saint. He initiated people. Somebody asked him, if you know nothing, why are you initiating people? Why are you promising them that you can help them to go to their true home? He said, my master told me to do it. I'm carrying out his duty. I'm carrying out my duty. He told me, do it. I will do it. I said, did your master know everything? Oh, he knew everything. But I know nothing. The explanation he gave sometimes was very interesting. He said, when people talk of the master's power, they are looking at the master's body outside. They think the whole power is coming from that human being, that body. They don't realize the power is coming from an awareness in that human body which has reached totality, where the soul, where the disciple's soul and the master's soul is the same. So when they say it's the master producing all this, they're talking of the highest realm where there is only one. Totality. He used to explain this, but that never come in these books that I have read. But he did explain that when he talks about this, he's talking that it's a higher level at which the master and the disciple are one. When he says disciples are doing it themselves, he's talking of that level of the master. It's master's awareness, not the physical form, not the physical body of the master, but his awareness is connected with the disciple and with everybody else. So it's very remarkable how the man was talking all the time. I know nothing. I went to great master. I said, Baba saw nothing. Do you anything? He said, I know nothing. My master also told him, I know nothing. It's all the disciples have their experiences and they know what is happening. Do you go and appear there when they die? I don't know anything when they die. The master from inside appears. He records these things, some of his writings. So it's not easy to understand, but I remember one beautiful ceremony, I think called Vaisakhi or something, and people from far off had come. One of his disciples had himself become a saint, and his name was Sant Tarachand. And Sant Tarachand lived about a few hundred miles away from Hoshiarpur. So in that big festival, the saint also came, his disciple. And the saint, he naturally asked the saint to sit next to him on the stage. So there is Baba Fakir Chand and the Sant Tarachand sitting next to him, and he gives a discourse. In the discourse, as usual, he says, I know nothing, master know nothing. And then he says, I'm very happy. At the end he said, I'm very happy. Our beloved Sant Tarachand is here. I will ask him to say a few words. Then Sant Tarachand speaks. He said, don't believe this master. If he knew nothing, I would not travel hundreds of miles to come and put my head on his feet. Everything I've got is from him. And they both laughed. So it's very difficult to understand because masters act like absolutely ordinary human beings. They do not reveal their awareness. They function at different levels at the same time. Unlike us who go one step and we are very proud of it. Oh, I saw the astral self, I had out-of-body experience. We got so impressed by that. Masters are operating at a level where they can be in awareness at all levels at the same time. Not only they can be, they are. When you meet a perfect living master, like great master Baba Sawal Singh, when he was as a human being sitting with us, he was also sitting at the top, also sitting at the intermediate stages. His awareness was at all places. The reason for that is when we now completely turned inside out, we are outside now. We have no connection with our inside self. When we withdraw our attention inside, it seems to go by stage by stage. We withdraw, become unaware of the outer body, then we get aware of the inner body. You can't be aware of both. Just like when you're sleeping and having a real dream, you can't be aware of where your body is sleeping. There's a cutoff point. Each level of experience at different conscious levels is separate, individual. So when we want to withdraw to the astral plane, we have to forget and become unaware of the physical plane. When we want to withdraw to the causal plane, we have to become unaware of both physical and astral planes. When we go higher up to the soul level, we have to forget all these are body, not real. Soul is real. At each step, we only are aware of one form, one reality. These are realities created. They are created by the process of projection from consciousness, but for us they are realities. And these reality levels, only one reality we experience at one time. That is why when we are in physical reality, it is the only reality for us. All others we can find out, but we think this is real. We are finding from the reality here. But when you reach the top, which is totality of consciousness, everything, all these levels are also there. Otherwise not total. If this were outside of that, that would not be totality. Totality means that everything is there. Therefore, one who has reached that level of awareness is constantly aware of all levels. That's perfect living masters. Perfect living masters are constantly aware of all levels. Therefore, when they speak to us as ordinary human beings, they're dealing with us as a human being at human level and talking like a human mind. But the awareness, when they speak of other levels, they speak not from remembering something, but what they are experiencing right then. So that is why there's a very big difference between masters at different levels, even up to the soul level, and the masters, perfect living masters who come from the top. And that is why perfect living masters, they live a very ordinary way. Why ordinary? If they are really masters, why don't they show off some of their mastery? Well, some people do. They wear very beautiful robes, orange-colored robes, saffron-colored robes, white robes. Some people do. Why don't perfect living masters also do this? Because they have not come to teach anything. These other masters have come to teach something. They teach us how to meditate. They teach us how to find something better than us. They teach us there is something more than this physical world. They are teachers. Perfect living masters are not coming as teachers. They are coming simply to pick up the marked souls and take them back home. Their mission is different. Their mission is, therefore, when we think that we have been seeking for a long time and ultimately when a perfect living master comes, his love pulls us. And we feel this is it. It's the end of our journey. Mind says the beginning of the journey. Now we'll meditate. Now we'll do this. That's why when somebody said, is it necessary to meditate? If you know the reality of the whole picture, the big picture, how marked souls are taken by masters back home, and this is where the perfect living masters come in. They take their marked souls back home. So it is not at all necessary to consider that these are enemies or these are friends. They are all part of the show. If you are meditating regularly, your compassion and love will grow automatically. I've seen that. Because you realize, where are we? Where are all of us coming from? Where the whole picture is being drawn from? One single source. We are part of that source. When we discover more, we are the source. They know the source. We are the source of all drama. But we are moved so far away to separations for the sake of experience. It's wonderful to have a vastness of experience. We have done a great job. Vastness of this universe, more vastness of the astral plane, still more vastness of causal plane. We created time and space in a way nobody could have dreamt of it, and yet we did it successfully. And created so many beings like ourselves. It's amazing. Now, having done that great thing and made it real by cutting off the knowledge of all other forms except the one we are in at any given time. So, it's such a beautiful show that we are here, and we find that we are all coming from the one. Can you have an enemy after that? Who is your enemy if we are all one? In the Guru Granth Sahib it said, Duja kisnu akhiye, je koi duja hoye. There is no second. We are part of one. If we are part of one, whose enemy are we? Whose friends are we? It's a show of the one totality of consciousness. There are no enemies. If you think somebody is enemy, say you are settling an old account, say thank you very much.